Hey Cheyenne, Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd this year, and that means going out and voting. Now, if you fear getting corona at the booth, I recommend dropping off your ballot at the drop box by the Community Garden Center in Bear Creek. For those of you who will be going into the voting booth, the closest location for us is the Norris Penrose Indoor Event Center from 7 to 7 on November 3rd. Now, I know we as a generation don't like voting. We think nothing we do makes a difference, the election is already decided. Quite frankly, that's a stupid line of logic. Zoomers and millennials will make up about 40% of the electorate this year. Young people will decide this election. I also want to take a moment to discuss polling data and what it can tell us about the upcoming election. Again, I know young voters are disillusioned and probably want to discredit polling data for the rest of their lives after 2016. However, I want to point out that yes, polling data did say that Hillary had a 70% chance of winning, and she still lost. This does not mean that the data was wrong. Trump still had a very real 30% chance of winning, and he did. That 70-30 split did not mean that 70% of people were projected to vote Hillary. It meant that 70% of possible outcomes, based on all collected polling data by 538 and Nate Silver, favored a Hillary win. And to be fair, Hillary did win the popular vote by almost 3 million. So, now that you know how to interpret polling data, let's look at what 538 has to say about current elections. We'll look at both the presidential election and the Senate situation. So, this data is pretty stark. According to 538, Trump is facing a pretty dire situation in regards to polling 2 weeks before Election Day. Biden is trending in the double digits above Trump right now by about 10.5, which is far over the normal margin for error. In fact, Biden is favored 87 to Trump's 12 right now. Even if we were to subtract the amount polling data was off by in 2016 compared to the actual election from the current polling data, Biden still wins. Democrats are actually favored to flip the Senate as well, in this case by 73% to the Republicans' 27. Now, please don't just take my word on this. If you feel that all that I might be misrepresenting the data, please take a look for yourself. Just Google 538 2020 forecast. It'll be the first result, and you can interpret the data however you like. So, what does this mean for voters? Well, I'd say Republicans ought to be inspired by these numbers to go out and vote. I know if I was a Republican voter, that's what I would do. And Democrats, you might feel emboldened by these numbers and feel like, oh, I don't need to vote. The election is basically already won. Wrong. Upset victories are less likely, but still happen all the time. Surely you remember 2016. So please, I don't care who you vote for, just vote. Elections are decided by the people, most of the time. And that means you. Vote, vote, vote. You have no excuse not to.